President Kagame, the busiest port between Uganda and Rwanda, is currently under construction, so it's been closed. And we've actually seen the impact of businesses saying, well, we can't get trucks through and so forth. So this is a big question that a lot of people have been asking. Is there anything we need to worry about between Uganda and Rwanda? Can you clarify for us? Because we were talking about having political will is, having political will with your neighbors is going to be of paramount importance.
Absolutely. I think that explains the point in the sense that the problem is not the road or the road being constructed. The problem is politics.
Really?
Behind that, you have for example, we have hundreds of people from Rwanda, arrested, detained, in prison for months, for years, in Uganda, without being charged, without appearing anywhere in court. They are piling up in prisons. Now, which means the message is, don't go to Uganda. It's like Uganda is telling Rwandans, don't come here. We have raised this issue for the last 2 years with the Ugandan government. We said, if you have people who have committed crimes in Uganda, who have come from Rwanda, or who are coming there to commit crimes, deal with that legally. Deal with that openly. At least that's minimum. You can imagine, not only have they not been treated through the legal process, they have not even been given consular access. Even ambassadors, diplomats cannot go to visit these people because some of them are locked up in places that are not known. We have engaged with Uganda for the last 2 years talking about that, but we are getting nowhere. We've brought it up with many of our friends who have talked to all of us. It doesn't lead us anywhere. So, but let me not stay on that. So that's one part. The other part, I'm sure maybe some of the business people who were affected are in this room. We had containers leaving Kigali, going to Mombasa. You have to go through Uganda. If you're going to Mombasa, we have, actually, the irony here is that both of us are landlocked. Uganda is landlocked, we are landlocked. But for us, when it is that route, we face double the problem of being landlocked because Uganda landlocks us. The containers of minerals that were leaving Rwanda, going through Mombasa, were held in Uganda for 5 months. And when we were asking, first of all, we checked here, the revenue people and others had cleared the containers. They contacted their counterparts in Uganda. They actually told them there is nothing. They have cleared them. Then you say, why are they being held? You say, no, messages came from somewhere, and they said, no, they should not go. This is an investor, a foreign investor. He's not even Rwandan. He's a company from Germany. And then there were people from Kenya who were importing milk from Rwanda. I think they were buying milk all the way from Rwanda, from Uganda for processing. I think they have huge capacity. And the containers from here were held in Uganda for days until tens of thousands of liters were spoiled. And we've been bringing up this. No. So that is the background. But for what is happening at the border, we have 3 border points that connect us with Uganda or through Uganda. It is only one that actually is not working to the full capacity. Maybe it is at about 20–30% because of that construction that is being talked about. And we hope that in the next few weeks, maybe not even months, that should be working. So when this happened, at the time there was this other problem taking place. Then it grew up into a much bigger problem. And so this is where we are. So politics is what is behind it rather than actually anything else.
Thank you for being so open with us, President Kagame. And this is very interesting because you've got, politics getting involved in an economic, standoff perhaps. I mean, is there retaliation that is happening, do you think, at the borders? I mean, you were talking about containers being held. And then when you see this as an example of what could possibly play out, if there isn't political will with your neighbors or even regionally, it's an example of how things can go wrong within a trade agreement, correct?
That's going to be there. It has to be attended to. I'll give many examples. When we had actually the actual meeting, the CFTA summit here, those who followed the news, 2 days after I went to Uganda, I was visiting Uganda, and you know what had taken me there? It is actually to address this particular problem I was talking about. I went to see the head of state, the president of Uganda, to say, what is this? Why is this happening? And I actually had the opportunity to brief the leadership there, the matters as were discussed in the summit. I said, you see, there are big things here being discussed underway, but the two countries are caught up in these things that we can't even justify. So why don't we work together to get rid of this so that we even benefit from this big thing that is being discussed at the continental level? That was the reason I was visiting the country. But there are things I can't explain that keep happening.
Thank you, President Kagame.